this, Woody. Let's get Dynamite to be the next brawler to make an appearance like the Mortis. That would be fantastic to see. But teams are going in. We are going to see Gale straight off the bat for both teams, and that use of that bounce pad gadget to launch both teams fully into the action very, very early on.
Yeah, the red canids up top take a few big hits. Parzival going down. Guigle now the only remaining player up on the top for the canids, and that means that they haven't been able to score a single bolt. Massive siege bot coming in from B4 Esports right off the bat, and you see them swinging hard in the first exchange of this match. Well done to B4 Esports, pushing in super hard and giving no breathing room at all to the red canids.
Yeah, I mean, a very similar comp, but nonetheless, before Esports definitely making a really, really good mark. And look at that. Wow. Could he just launch it straight onto those mines that were placed very strategically so by Tufa, and looking like a really, really good second round so far here for Before Esports as well.
Not giving up any ground on the right side there. Beto pushes Parzival back. He's going to get knocked into a corner now, though. He's got to be careful because Parzival's attack can bounce over these ledges, but not any chance of making it happen this time. Beto knocks him down with a super and will get the finishing blow. A kill on Guigle as well, who is just a bit too aggressive with that super, charging on in and trying to get just one little tiny bolt for the red canids, but no dice. B4 Esports have got a dominant showing so far here, knocking down a second seed bot at level 7. Now the defense is going to be really difficult for the red canids. They need to reestablish themselves in the middle of the map and get basically every single bolt if they want to have any shot at victory.
Yeah, it was actually not a bad defense in total, only like 40% damage now for red cannons this Ike. But look at this, the amount of bolts is still even. Like, red cannons can't seem to find the momentum here to stay alive long enough to bank these bolts, as on the right side, Parzival gets taken down.
Even when poor little Parzival manages to get the kill on Beto, he gets eliminated by all three mines from that Bo super, just knocking him apart. Well done to B4 Esports, grabbing the third and final siege bot, all of them in their favor. The tic-tac-toe victory for B4 Esports. No way for red canids to make the comeback happen this late in the game. It's just a matter of whether or not this Ike is going down in 5 seconds or in 8 seconds, Hart.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the number of bots for Before Esports, the level of those bots rather, was insanely
cases than we'd come to expect.
Bo is a bit of a wild card here for me, to be completely honest. It wouldn't be my go-to selection, but yeah, very, very rightly said. Being played very, very well by Tufa here, and yeah, not the most go-to of choices. I would say probably a Pam would be more that kind of role, but yeah, I mean, Tufa was placing some very, very well-placed mines and playing Bo to great effect.
Well, Bo will continue control over the center here. I wonder if they're using Bo as like a counter to Gene specifically, just because Bo has a little bit longer range, and with those mines getting set up, might be able to provide just what B4 Esports needs to counter those big heavy pushes from Gale, which always seem to hit.
Yeah, that's a really, really solid point. I think you could well be right there. Gale is definitely a brawler to keep an eye on. The competitive scene definitely noticing the strength of Gale, and we saw a lot of Gale being banned yesterday as a result of those new strengths. And yeah, Bo is able to sort of just remain a bit out of that range and get those shots accordingly.
I gotta say, I think the biggest strength for Gale is that he just almost never misses. If your opponents are in range, that shot is almost guaranteed to land on them, unless they do some really sneaky survivability super to just kind of jolt out of there. We saw Daryl actually rolling out of range of a Gale shot one time yesterday, but Gale just gets such reliable damage and is very good at denying opportunities for your opponents to be able to retreat and recover.
Absolutely. Level 6 coming in now. It's actually a much better performance that we're seeing from red cannons this time around, as the pressure again pounding that Ike with now only 58%. The last siege is coming up in the next 30 seconds. 6 bolts in the bag for Before Esports does provide them a little bit of a cushion, but this last round is all to play for right now.
Yeah, it's really, really close here. We've got a big bolt lead for B4 Esports, but if red canids can hold on and get that total over 6, then they will definitely be able to clear out for the victory. A heroic charge from Tufa over to the right side is not going to get rewarded. Parzival's Robo-Porters there are going to be just enough to defend, and with that, it looks like red canids have done it. They've held on to control of the middle and have kept that siege bolt level high. The third and final bot will be coming in for them, and what a counter punch from these clever foxes, sneaking on through, taking the first lost, but dealing just as much damage the second time around. This is a really tight set so far.
Well, a little cheeky grin from Guigle. That is going to be the end of that game. You've got to hand it, actually, to Red CANIDS there. They didn't change anything.
Especially yesterday, the first two matches that we saw were both 3-0 shutouts. So this is going to give a lot of momentum to one team or the other and really give that big boost to either B4 Esports or Red CANIDS. Looks like the Red CANIDS are going to claim control of the center to start things off here.
Yeah, this is the thing. You start having the mind games play a role, and having that on your mind, the pressure of having to come back can be very daunting sometimes to these teams who are under a lot of pressure. A lot of money on the line today, and more importantly, the points that these teams need to make it to the grand final. So with a region like this, where it is really everyone fighting to overhaul INTZ, as the first push though coming in. It's going to be for before esports.
Yeah, great job there to Guigle on defense, just outranging a Dinho there, tossing off that spike and barely taking any hits himself. Nice push, though, to B4 Esports on the other side. You got to give him credit for getting that Ike down to 83%. A quick charge from Guigle, uses that super to grab a bolt and will zip back on out, but he'll lose control of the mid now to a blue team that just doesn't seem to be letting up at all. Tufel will get another bolt, and Parzival barely surviving on the right side. They're not really looking too eager to grab that last one, but he goes for it anyways. That's not going to be enough to get Red CANIDS back over the hump, though, and B4 Esports will get the second siege bot again.
Yeah, definitely the momentum right now is with before esports, and worth noting that Red CANIDS, if they can defend this push, do have 5 bolts in the bank, 6 now from Parzival for the next round, and that could be very good for them if they can just hold on a little bit, and that's not that much damage, actually, Woody.
Yeah, awesome defense there from Red CANIDS, but remember, in any time a siege bot comes at you, you're going to be working uphill to reclaim control of the mid and get those bolts back in your favor. Nice kill from Parzival over on the right side. Beto playing very aggressively, not rewarded for it. Tufa now on defense in the center, trying to deny access for the Red CANIDS, but they've got a massive bolt lead, and it seems like it won't be possible for the B4 Esports squad to overcome that. They're going to have to play defense on this last one, just trying to deny as many bolts as they can to their opponents and keep that bot as small as possible. But 10 puts a big lead in favor of the Red CANIDS. That big purple bot is going to be hard to stop. He's moving in fast and hard. 15 seconds left for the Red CANIDS to get this attack in. They only need to get 28% damage off of B4 Esports, and that seems possible. But what a massive amount of damage from B4 Esports, knocking down that siege bot. Can that Ike stay alive? It can!
Wow, that was insane. The bow mines of Tufa came in.